Stranger Things Season 3 has smashed previous Netflix records, with Netflix tweeting that in just 4 days from its July 4th launch, it had 40.7 million accounts view it and 18.2 million accounts finish the 3rd season. While it isn't official, it's highly likely a 4th season is on its way. So, I'm Dave Klein, and these are our Stranger Things Season 4 predictions. And if it isn't obvious, there's going to be heavy Season 3 spoilers, so make sure to watch that first before jumping into this video. And then watch this video. Like, seriously, don't forget. Don't forget about me! Season 3 ended on a depressing note with both Billy's death and Hopper seeming to die. Joyce Byers closes the gate to the Upside Down, ending the Mind Flayer's reign of terror, and with it, various Russian scientists are caught in the crosshairs, evaporating. Hopper seems to be caught in this as well, as he completely disappears, and the season ends with Eleven mourning his death. However, we never actually see him die. And if Game of Thrones has taught me anything, if a character hasn't died on camera, have they really died at all? It's like the whole tree falling in the forest query, except far less philosophical. The end credits scene to Season 3 shows Russians approach a cell and state,
Не американцы.
On top of that, David Harbour himself weighed in during an interview with Slash Film, confirming that it was the most likely scenario that it was indeed Hopper whom the Russians were referring to. So, what happened? It seems likely that between death or the Upside Down, Hopper chose the Upside Down and entered the gate to Hawkins Hell. He must have survived until the Russians found him during some other gate opening in a yet unspecified location and captured him. If that American in the Russian cell isn't Hopper, though, who could it be? Perhaps it's Martin Brenner, whom we also didn't see die officially. A major event at the end of Season 3 was Eleven seeming to lose her powers. Even at the very end, just before the credits, she still couldn't utilize them to get her teddy bear down from the closet, which makes it seem strongly likely this will be a full season arc of Els. If I had to guess, which this is a theory video, so that's the entire purpose of this, I think Elle will finally start to become a normal girl without her powers at the beginning of the season. When trouble brews again from creatures from the Upside Down, she'll struggle to use her powers again and not be able to, only for some catalyst to finally give her back her abilities and save the day in the nick of time. And yes, that's going to be how the climax of the 4th season ends. I'm sorry if that's a made-up spoiler for you. Of course, there's always the possibility that she'll return to Chicago to meet up with her friends to get advice and help from them relating to her powers, but yeah, I think we all hope that storyline is never brought back. This theory actually comes from Reddit user u/GamerNation. He states that Season 1 took place over Christmas in the winter, Season 2 over Halloween in the fall, Season 3 is taking place over summer break, and that means Season 4 would likely take place spring of 1986. A major world event that took place during the spring of 1986 was, of course, Chernobyl. So, potentially, the major battle will take place and the nuclear reactor exploding of Chernobyl is used as a cover-up. While this is an incredibly interesting theory, especially in the way that the seasons of the year correlate to the seasons of the show, it could also be considered offensive considering the real-life tragedy that Chernobyl was. But an intriguing theory nonetheless. The Byers have officially moved out of Hawkins, Indiana. Where to? I don't know. But that also creates a rift in multiple relationships. Elle is now staying with Joyce Byers, so even though she made up with Mike at the end of Season 3, with them confessing their love, long distance can destroy many things. Although, I guess we'll see a lot of letters and postcards. Outside of Mike and Elle, there's also Jonathan and Nancy. While they shared a summer internship at the Hawkins newspaper, it's pretty likely at least one of them will be in college, unless this season takes place during a school break, which it probably will. Still, the combined distance of Jonathan moving and college makes it pretty likely we'll see these two drift apart. While it turns out Dustin really was dating Susie.
This is Susie, I copy.
Susie!
Dusty Bun? Dusty Bun.
Will this actually last? Camp Nowhere may seem real far away by 1986. I know it seems like I'm a giant love grinch right now, but I do think we can plan to see Steve and Robin wingmanning for each other as they go for dates, and it would be awesome to see at least one of them meet somebody. The Cold War was still ongoing in 1986, and the Russians made a major debut in Season 3 as classic Cold War anti-American antagonists. And by the end of season 3, we've now found out that they have their very own pet Demogorgon. And you thought Dustin was the only one.
Morning, Dart. Got you some breakfast. Your favorite.
While overall, the scale has remained fairly small, with our chief protagonists being the main ones preventing the outbreak of the Upside Down on several occasions, now that Russia is so heavily involved, it seems the American government may end up clashing forces with the Russian government, with our protagonists, of course, somehow ending up in the middle of all of this. As usual, we see major film references in Stranger Things Season 3, with the Russian hitman seeming to be a cross between Rocky's Ivan Drago and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and various film references with Day of the Dead and Back to the Future both being prominently featured. Season 2 highly featured Ghostbusters, with the boys dressing up as them for Halloween. So there's no doubt that films from 1986 will be a major part of the storyline, but which ones? The Duffer Brothers have shown some quality taste in flicks, so here are a few that I think will be mentioned. 1986 saw the return of Alien in Aliens, a film that's so strong it's still debatable which of the two films from the classic franchise are the best. Top Gun also released in 1986, which was a major smash hit, and it seems like the exact kind of film either our teenage protagonist or possibly Hopper would fall in love with. And for a dose of horror, there was references to The Thing in Stranger Things Season 3, and 1986 saw the release of the film The Fly. If it's not directly referenced, I'd be highly surprised if we don't see a poster of it somewhere. There were, of course, other classic films released in 1986, such as Big Trouble in Little China, which is so good, or possibly Labyrinth, or for all you Lynchians out there, there was Blue Velvet. So there's plenty of films to choose from, and which do you think will end up getting the nod and reference from the Duffer Brothers? And speaking on 1986 pop culture, Atari received a brief mention in Season 3 thanks to its wildly successful Atari 2600.
I guarantee you, him and Lucas are playing Atari right now.
However, the holiday season of 1985 would see the drop of an even more successful video game console, the Nintendo Entertainment System. The NES exploded in popularity in 1986, especially with Mario releasing the end of the year, so it's possible we'll see the gang with Nintendo fever. So those are some of our theories for the very likely upcoming Season 4 of Stranger Things. What are some of your theories, and what pop culture references would you love to see? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.